grocery shopping. Back from our trip, and it's time to go restock the house and get my life together.
Under the heat, I'm half awake. I've been hung up on yesterday. Woke up at noon, I'm in a daze. We'll keep on pushing anyways. I don't know where I'm going. 2 days, one big commotion.
Hello. Oh my gosh, please excuse my voice. We just got back from our trip and I lost my voice. Apparently I used my vocal cords incorrectly, and a speech therapist told me that. And so every time I talk for extended periods of time, I lose my voice. But anyway, I thought I would show you. We're gonna do a really fun, exciting grocery haul, and then I'm gonna show you what I got. I need to refill some skincare stuff, and I got you really cute, exciting giveaway things, but I'm gonna show you that later in this video. So anyway, stay tuned for a really fun, cute little giveaway. But first of all, I got Matrixyl. I've been out of this for a while, and I think this is like, I think it's a peptide. I don't know what this is. Is it? Yeah, I think it's like a peptide serum. I just remembered that I used to use this and I've been out of it, and I just really feel like my skin needs hydration. It just needs a little bit of love. Speaking of hydration, I've been trying out a couple of their other moisturizers. So this is the Ordinary. I just really like the Ordinary, the natural moisturizing factors, but this is the phytoceramides, and this had really good reviews. I used the one with the hyaluronic acid for a really, really long time. And then I actually just got this other one that's more of like a gel based, and I really like it a lot, but I feel like I need something even more hydrating. So this one had really good reviews, and I'm so excited to try this one out, see how it goes. But that's the one that I got. I really like the Ordinary, like so much. And then I got the bee oil. It's been a while. I'm so happy. The Ulta just really like got in a ton of Ordinary stuff. And I used to love this bee oil. This is great for doing like gua sha. And I've been back onto my gua sha routine, which is really nice. It feels so good, and it just releases so much tension too, especially like if you struggle with like clenching your jaw. It's so nice for relieving tension. So I got the bee oil, and I really like this oil. I've used it. I've gone through multiple bottles of this before, so I'm so happy that I restocked that. And then I was out of my squalane. That's what I originally went for. This is so hydrating, and I feel like my skin's just been needing a lot of moisture, and so I don't even know how many bottles that I've gone through of the squalane. It is so hydrating, and it doesn't break me out. I really like this a lot. So I'm excited to try out the moisturizer, but then I also I left my phone, or not my phone charger, I left my charger in Oregon, so I had to pick up a new charger from Apple. And then I love the niacinamide. I've been using the Ordinary niacinamide for years, and I got a smaller bottle for our trip, but I'm just going through it so fast, so I figured I'd pick up the big bottle at Sephora. So this is amazing for breakouts, and I love niacinamide. It's really good. If you struggle with breakouts, I really like this a lot. It really helps to keep my skin clear. And then I haven't used hyaluronic acid for a while, just because, I don't know, I've read some certain things, I've heard certain things about it, and I just kind of feel a little bit iffy about it, but my skin has been just so dry this summer that I'm like, I'm just gonna get it. So this is just their hyaluronic acid and the B5. I really like I have just like the B's hydration drops as well. I love anything with B5 in it, super hydrating. So I really like that, but then I wanted to get the hyaluronic acid, so I picked that up. So I got all my skincare goodies. So that is what I got for my skincare stuff. But now let's do the grocery haul. I have so much to show you. Okay, before I unload everything, I just feel like I haven't chatted with you in a while, and I feel like we need to do like a good catch up and just like talk about life and just health stuff. We'll chat a little bit later, but let's go unload the grocery. Okay, let's do our grocery haul. I'm so excited for this grocery haul. I got so many fun things. We need to restock our eggs. We're gonna go quick because this is a big grocery haul. So we got 2 things of eggs, and then we're gonna restock the fridge. We got our raw milk, a couple gallons of raw milk. I'm so excited to have my at-home lattes again. We actually ran out of my favorite espresso, which is Sight Glass Owl's Howl. It's an organic espresso, and it's amazing. But we picked up the Stumptown. This is my favorite Stumptown, the organic 100 mile. It's so good. So the orange one, It's my favorite. It's delicious. And then we got some organic mushrooms. I've been really missing making my shepherd's pie, and I feel like fall is like in the air and it's coming sooner than later. I feel like it's like I see the trees changing and I'm just like craving a shepherd's pie. It's been a long time. And then I'm so excited. I got some beets. These are so amazing. I love beets. Really good for the liver. I adore beets and they're just so good. Let me move this out of the way. I'm gonna try to... Okay, a bird just hit our window. I hate when that happens. It always makes me so sad. We have a little fountain right there and I always make sure it's full so that they can take their little bird baths, but then sometimes they run into the window and it just makes me so sad, but I think he's all good because they're just hanging out now at the fountain. Anyway, okay. Now we got a watermelon. I'm just soaking up the watermelon before summer's over. Then we stocked up, we got some bananas and strawberries. We got some blueberries. I picked up more Greek yogurt. Really easy, good protein source. And then this is what I'm excited about. So, well, I did get this as well. I've been loving prosciutto. I've been loving that. Really easy protein, good for lunch. I was looking for really easy, good things for lunch that are quick and fast and like easy protein sources. So I saw this organic, this is the Amilu organic caramelized onion and aged white cheddar charbroiled chicken burgers. And I thought this is so perfect for lunch. So I'm actually gonna make these for lunch today, but I really liked the ingredients, 19 grams of protein in one of those. So I thought that would be like a quick and easy lunch. And then speaking of quick and easy lunches, I just really stocked up on the protein. It's really important for hormone health and I'm just really trying to hit my protein goals every single day. So this is the organic roasted turkey breast. I love this one from Costco. And then I grabbed these as well. These are the organic chicken and apple smoked chicken sausage. Again, really quick and easy. I don't know if I've had these for a while, but my sister said that these are really good. So I'm really excited to try these. And I need to turn off my phone. And I picked up some raspberries. We picked up some raspberries. And then I got some dates. And these are so good for making like a caramely, yummy smoothie. And now that it's like, I know it's August. I know we need to soak up the last part of summer, but I'm like really craving like a little caramel apple dip, and making it with the dates is so yummy. So maybe we need to make that later. That sounds really good, but I don't have any apples, so. And then I got some organic celery and then picked up some frozen blueberries to make our acai bowls. Long live summer, but like I'm also ready for fall. My sister was telling me about these organic chicken sausages, and I think this is just such a good, easy way to add more protein to breakfast. And so 3 links has 9 grams of protein. And then if you do this with a couple eggs, you're really hitting like a really good amount of protein for breakfast. So she said that these were really good and I really like the ingredients. Very minimal ingredients and they're organic. So I'm gonna pop these in the freezer as well. Got some organic mangoes and then organic onions and these sun gold kiwis. These are so yummy. I love them. And I think that that's pretty much everything from Costco. Okay, now I'm gonna randomly throw this in here. I went to this home store when we were in Oregon. I found some really cute things at this home store. It's called Salt and Light. How cute is that? In Central Point, Oregon. It's in Southern Oregon. Anyway, it's a really cute store. I think it's new, but they had the cutest things there. Oops, and I forgot that I got these. Look how adorable these little scissors are. I figured these would just be like perfect to throw in the drawer right here for if you ever need to cut a tag off of clothes. You never know. And then look how cute this little jewelry dish is. I honestly, you don't have to use it as a jewelry dish, but I just thought this was so pretty to set somewhere around the house or in the room. I feel like I always need more jewelry storage. I love my Keisha Randall jewelry. Look how cute this glass is. I think it's technically a vase, but I was like, I could not leave the store without this. I thought it was the cutest cup I've ever seen in my life, and I'm gonna use it as a cup. Drink my mineral tea out of it. Okay, let me show you. Look at this cup. Look at this. Okay, it might be like a small vase. I really don't know, but have you ever seen, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. I am obsessed. I honestly should have got 2 and like set it up on the, oh, I don't know. It's so cute. It's a flower glass. I think it really is a glass. Like I think it's like a cup, you know, but it's so cute. So I got one of those. I'm really excited to have like a little drink out of this later. I want like mineral tea in there. I feel like I can never have enough of these, and this was such a good price for this bowl, and it's just a beautiful wood bowl. So I like the character that it has, and I just thought it was so cute for the house. So that is what I got. Let's clean out the fridge and put all this away. Breakfast for dinner. It's a couple days later, my voice is still coming back to me. I need to clean up this mess. We're gonna make our hydration drink. This is no longer a summer hydration drink. This is a forever hydration drink. This is coming with us into fall. One of the biggest questions is, what am I doing to boost my progesterone? And I thought in the beginning when I was trying to boost my progesterone after I miscarried that I was just gonna take progesterone, that I would just take oral progesterone, and that would really, that was just kind of my plan. And I definitely learned that, I wanted to really address the root of why my progesterone is low, instead of just relying on taking the progesterone. Progesterone can be super helpful, but I realized that there was other things like gut issues and minerals that needed to be addressed as far as like foundationally, you know what I mean? So if you have a gut issue and you're having, gut issues, which is leading to higher estrogen, then you're naturally going to have a lower progesterone ratio. And so taking progesterone can help, but it's not ever going to necessarily address the gut issue, if that makes sense. So for me, it was getting my gut tested and then lowering the lipopolysaccharides, the endotoxin, working on candida overgrowth through probiotic supplementation. And then also the biggest thing, so gut was really is foundational. So I worked on my gut, and I've been working on my gut, and I'm going to continue to work on my gut. I'm actually getting a functional GI map here soon, which I'm so excited about. That is going to really take an in-depth look at everything. And then the second thing is minerals. And even as I study to become a practitioner, two of the four foundations, well, I breathed in my element. Two of the foundations are digestion and minerals. And so especially our adrenals play a huge part in fertility and pregnancy. And on my first HTMA, that was one of the other questions that I got is, how do you know what to do with your HTMA? And you definitely need to get somebody who knows how to interpret them and read it. And for me, when I took my hair tissue sample after I miscarried that first time that I did it, my sodium and potassium were so incredibly low. And so really focusing on minerals following the miscarriage was very huge. And then it was kind of really cool to see my second time when I took another HTMA to see where my progress was at after that first one. My sodium and potassium were way up. They were in normal range again, which made me so happy. And that plays a really important part in our adrenal health, which is really important for everything. Affects everything. Adrenals are really important in blood sugar regulation, and blood sugar regulation is directly impacts our progesterone levels, because progesterone needs to have stable blood sugar in order to bind to receptors. So there's just a lot of moving parts to it, but really just focusing on the foundations of digestion and working on gut health, and then minerals, specifically sodium and potassium, as well as magnesium. But sodium and potassium are just so incredibly huge. They're like our vitality hormones or vitality minerals, and they have a direct impact on our hormones. So I just really focusing on sodium. Sodium's really important too for stomach acid. Potassium is really important for blood sugar regulation, which we need healthy blood sugar regulation for progesterone. And so as you can see, everything affects everything. So for me, my focus on supporting progesterone and boosting progesterone was really a focus on gut health and then minerals, which was really cool. This is what really showed me how powerful minerals really are, because following the loss, that was extremely stressful, and I was under a lot of emotional stress, and I was working through a lot of emotions. I was very sad. Grief is a journey like no other. And what amazed me was an intentional focus on minerals, even following the loss. and through such a stressful event, I was still able to raise my sodium and my potassium levels. And one of the easiest ways that I did that was through my daily element pack. And I always talk about minerals because I know that there can just be so many issues, whether it's hormone issues or whether the hormone issues really stem from gut and adrenals and minerals and all these things that our bodies really need. And really what it comes down to is vitamins and minerals and macronutrients. Those are like foundational for nourishment. And so it's really easy to just, of course, macronutrients, we need protein and carbohydrates and fat and even vitamins, we think about greens and all these things, but minerals were really the missing piece for a long time. And it was really cool to see that I improved my sodium, potassium, even after going through such a stressful event with intentional focus on minerals. And so that is one of the ways that I'm directly supporting progesterone and just nutrient stores in general. So that's what I'm doing. So really easy. Okay, let's have a taste test because this is my favorite drink ever and I've never made it with the watermelon. It just continues to get better. Like every single one is just so incredibly good. I love Element so much. You can get your Element at drinkelement.com/Cambria, and you're gonna get a free sample pack with your order. The watermelon is so good. I just ran out of my grapefruit, but they are my favorite electrolyte pack. And honestly, it is one of the easiest things that you can truly do for your health that's going to support your cells and give them literally what they need in order to function properly. They put everything that you need in there and then just nothing that you don't. They don't add any artificial ingredients or flavors. For a long time, I just could not find an electrolyte company that I even like or could recommend to you because so many of them just add in those dyes and flavors and things like that. And I just love how good, they're just good, wholesome electrolyte packets that just give you what you need. So link in the description box, or you can go to drinklmnt.com/Cambria. And with your order, you're going to get your free sample pack, which is so good. You tried all the flavors. We're going to chat. We're going to hang out because I really just wanted to chat with you. Because my number one, and I want to just go deeper, because my number one questions lately are, how are you boosting your progesterone, which we just chatted about, but I think I'm going to share a little bit more detail even now. And then also, are you trying for another baby? And so let's go into that question first. So the answer to that is yes and no. No, because no, we're not. And yes, in the sense of I have been preparing my body and my life and just everything ever since I miscarried. And so I guess I just wanted to talk to you about the steps that I'm taking and what I'm doing to feel confident again, to, conceive, and how I'm preparing to conceive. And following the miscarriage. So following the miscarriage, how I'm preparing to conceive again. And so for me, and this is so personal, but I want to share with you because I find that it's just been the most helpful thing ever. We just got back from Oregon and it was so nourishing to my heart and my life and like every bit of me, that like literally down to my cells. It was nourishing to me to hear other women just say, it's really helped me that you've talked about your miscarriage and I've miscarried too. Or, just hearing other women's stories and that you're really not alone. And so many women have walked that path so much and so many times over. And there's just been a lot of brokenness, but I've found such great comfort in that they have found comfort and they've been comforted by God, and them comforting me. It was just so beautiful, and it was so good to know that we really are not alone. And so, even just me talking about it, if I know that it helps me so much, and I just really hope that it helps you, and in whatever way, whether you have miscarried or you haven't, you're just walking through a very difficult time, just knowing that you're not alone. There's something that it makes your burden lighter, And so, that being said, so what I'm doing to prepare is for me personally with my health history, so 10 years ago when I was told that I have very low progesterone when I was 18 years old, I was told by so many different doctors that I would never be able to have a baby and that my progesterone was so low, and they actually put me on progesterone at 18 years old, but none of the root issues were ever addressed, which is really digestion is really the first thing, gut health and digestion. And I had a really, really bad case of candida overgrowth. This all connects in with the hormones. And that's what I didn't realize, is that our mineral status and our nutritional stores and all of these things, all of it comes down to the cell. It all comes down to the cell. And if the cell is getting what it needs, if the cell is being, impacted by pathogens, or it's not receiving the right nutrients. And really that begins in the gut, because we could be eating the most nutrient dense diet on the planet Earth, but if we're not digesting our food well, if we have low stomach acid, if we're stressed in our life, which is causing low stomach acid, and we're not digesting and breaking down and absorbing those nutrients well, then we're not going to be, our cells aren't going to be getting the nutrients that they need. They're not going to receive the nutrients, even if we have a super nutrient dense diet. And so, or if there's pathogens, if there's candida or yeast overgrowth. And I didn't even realize how huge of an impact that has on hormones. Everything impacts our hormones. Everything really does. And so that being said, 10 years ago, that's why I talk and I share so much, because I don't know everything. I don't know all the things, but if I can even help one person with anything that I share, it brings me so much joy, because I would want somebody to do this for me. It's like doing to others as you would want to do. And so I always come with a heart of my heart is to help you and to do that in any possible way that I can. And whether that's making you feel like you're not alone, or it's sharing something about health that is like a piece to the puzzle that you didn't know, or something that you can look further into, it brings me deep joy. And so that being said, when I was told I had super low progesterone, and I was told by doctors that you're never going to be able to conceive, and I was put on progesterone, it was not working for me. I was waking up in the middle of the night, and now that I understand the progesterone pathway with cortisol, it makes sense. And my body just was not, it was not working well for my body at all. And I was waking up every single night, right in the middle of the night, being on the progesterone. And I remember I made that connection back then. And I thought, I don't like this. It's messing up my sleep. I was missing having a good night's sleep. And I just thought, I'm not going to do this. So I experimented. When I didn't take the progesterone, I'd get a good night's sleep. And when I had the progesterone, I'd wake up in the middle of the night. And so now, and that's the same thing that happened even after I started supplementing progesterone after this miscarriage, is it started affecting my sleep. It started mobilizing. Estrogen and progesterone have a very interesting relationship. They oppose one another, but they work together in our cycles to bring on ovulation, and then have the corpus luteum, which is the progesterone that enables you to have a healthy lining to carry the baby. So they work together, but they also oppose one another, and you don't want them to be out of balance. Otherwise, then there's issues. And so 10 years ago, I just thought, oh, it's the pregnancy hormone, I don't need to worry about it. But that's not true. We want our hormones to be balanced no matter what, whether we're trying to conceive or not. And so that is the point of everything that I'm trying to say, is I just wanted to be in a place where my body is healthy and that my hormones are balanced, so that when I want to conceive, we can. And no matter what, that is my goal, is getting my body to a place of having what it needs. My digestion is good, my gut's good, there's no bacterial overgrowth, there's no, yeast overgrowth, and then therefore there's no nutrient deficiencies, because, I'm going to be digesting well, I'm not going to be having these pathogens that are stealing my nutrients and all of that kind of stuff. And so with that being said, with the candida overgrowth and everything like that, I was put on such an intense, and this is why I'm so passionate about talking about health and wellness and fitness and all these things and nutrients, because I know what it's like to do all the elimination diets, to do the most intense things ever, no sugar, no carbohydrate, no blueberries. I was told I cannot eat any sugar at all, none. Otherwise, I'm going to be feeding the yeast, and I'm basically, I have to starve the candida. And otherwise, if I don't do that, then I'm going to have this candida overgrowth, And I was, of course, nobody cares about your health more than you. And so I followed everything that my doctors told me, that my doctor told me. I went to so many different doctors, but this one particular doctor who was amazing and was genuinely, he was giving me the knowledge, he was doing absolutely the best thing for me that he knew how to do. And I'm so grateful for that. And so I did it. I was on the strongest antifungals. I was eating no sugar, no blueberries. And it really, again, I was having to work through not being afraid of food, coming out of an eating disorder. But it was hard. I was struggling because I'm like, gosh, if I'm nourish my body with fruit, then I'm going to feed this pathogen and it's going to ruin my health. And it was so conflicting to me. And I just found myself at a place where I was doing all the right things, and yet my lab, I'll never forget, I walked in the doctor's office and he said, "Are you taking your antifungals? Are you eating sugar?" And I was like, "No, I'm not eating any sugar, and I'm taking every single pill that I'm taking. I'm doing everything that I've been told." And he was so compassionate, and he was like, "Man, okay, well, maybe we'll just up it." And we upped it, and it still didn't work. And I just remember just being so discouraged and thinking, okay, this isn't working. My body's not responding to it. I've been doing this for so long, for so many months, years, however long it was so long, and it just wasn't working. My body was not responding to it. And now that I know what I know now, of course it wasn't responding to it. Our immune system needs glucose to actually be robust and to fight off pathogens. And so it's not I've learned a lot. And so all that to say is learning about, the friendly bacteria and repopulating your gut with good probiotics. And that has such a huge impact on yeast overgrowth, rather than just, taking this very intense standpoint. Because if you're like me and you've been told that, it can be very discouraging when you're doing all the right things and you're not getting the results and it's not getting better. And so that's where I found myself in this place of I just really was like, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to live my life and I'm just going to do whatever I think. I'm just going to live intuitively. And I did that for a long time. And it worked to a certain extent. It really healed my relationship even deeper with food and just knowledge in general of I don't have to subscribe to every belief system out there. I can think for myself and I can think about okay, well, if this doesn't work, then what does that mean? And what should I do? And how should I respond? So all that being said, now I'm at a place where how am I going to prepare for the next baby? And if you have come out of loss, I just hope that I share this not as even a to-do, but just as taking inventory of your health and your heart and what is going to make you feel good. And so for me personally, I am focusing on my digestion and I'm focusing on my mineral status and my nutrient stores. And how I'm doing this objectively is through functional labs. That is what I'm going to be doing. And that's what I've been doing all year. I've been learning about. I feel like I just got something in my teeth. Okay, anyway, my hair is just so crazy right now. I need to take a shower. Anyway, whatever. But I have been working all year on furthering my education. And now that I'm almost graduating, and I really just didn't want to focus on conceiving during this year of studying. I really just wanted this to be a year of, this is part of my conception journey, studying and being back in school. And for me, I didn't want to take on trying to conceive and really dive deep into these pillars, these areas of my health, like digestion, blood sugar regulation, all these things. I didn't want to start diving super, super deep into that. I just really wanted to be able to study and focus and learn. And now that I'm almost done, I'm going to be graduating. I can't believe it's almost September. I'm going to be graduating in November, which is right around the corner. But now that I'm coming to the end of the year, I am now going to be doing functional tests. So I really wanted to give you a concrete answer and be really able to just be open and honest and share. And so now that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a GI map. I'm going to be running a functional hormone test, the Dutch test, which measures your estrogen, your progesterone, all of your hormones, your cortisol, everything like that. And then I'm also going to be doing an oat test, which is an organic acids test. So which is just going to dive deeper into certain pathways that your body is taking and how you can support your body further. And then I believe, and then I'm going to do another HTMA. The HTMA is a hair tissue mineral analysis test, and it really shows you what's going on instead of just blood, it's really showing you what's going on inside of the cells and what you're excreting in your hair. So it really gives you a good picture as to what's really happening inside of your cells, how your cells are utilizing minerals, what they're using, what they need, what you're depleted in. And it was really amazing because I took my first HTMA, and that's the thing. I've been doing this again ever since I miscarried. I took my first HTMA right after I miscarried. And for me, I'm just so grateful for the path that I've been on, because I know that years ago, I didn't even know about these tests. I didn't know about any of it. And I wish I would have really known before. Obviously, you don't know what you don't know. And I just didn't know, I just didn't know. And I wish I would have known before I miscarried, but I just didn't know. And so then I learned, wow, this could be a huge component to, my fertility and just my body. And that's why I decided, okay, I'm going to get an HTMA, a hair tissue test, after I miscarried. And then I immediately started working on my minerals. And that has a huge impact on your gut. So I decided I'm just going to start there, and I'm just going to go through schooling, and I'm just going to go really, really slow and take one thing at a time. I'm going to process through grief. I've learned so much in that, even with the nervous system and how God made our nervous systems, and that we are a nervous system, and how we respond to our life. And I've learned, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about play and joy and beauty, and even giving yourself permission to feel everything that you feel, all of your emotions, and not running away from those things, but pressing into them. And it's been really, I'm just thankful. I'm really thankful for it. And so now, I know this is like a really layered, long answer, but I just hope that it's kind of painting a picture for you that it's okay if things aren't as simple as like A, B, C, because we are complex. And for me, I didn't just want to try to conceive again, right out the gate. I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. I felt comfortable doing this, and I felt comfortable taking my time. And I want to say that too, that I think it's, for me, in one sense, I really wanted to get pregnant right away because I was so sad and I just wanted, another baby again. And I know that feeling of like comparing yourself with timelines and looking at other people. I can just in my own life, I look at my little sister, and she's 3 years younger than me, and she's on her second baby. And I have friends who have been married for way, way, way less time than I've been married, and they're on their, they're done having kids already. They've had 3-4 kids. And I'm like, where does the time go? It just goes by so fast. And it's easy to compare yourself and to feel like you're behind in life. And I remember even just being in Oregon, and I was having coffee with one of our old youth girls, and she was like, I just feel like there's other people around me that have been in relationships for such less, they've been dating for way less time, and they're already getting married. And, we've been dating for 4 years, and we're trying to figure, and I just told her, I was like, you don't compare your timeline to anybody else. My mom always used to tell me, Cambria, when I first started driving, she told me, Cambria, you are at the driver, you are in the driver's seat. Your hands are on the wheel. Don't ever let somebody behind you or cars around you dictate how fast you go and how comfortable you are in the car. Basically, don't let anybody else manipulate you. If somebody's tailgating you and they're riding up on your tail and they're right there behind you, it doesn't matter what they're doing. You don't let them control you. Their pace is not your pace. And I just want to say that in your life. It's a reminder that I needed to hear, that she needed to hear, that maybe we all needed to hear that. And it doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that even I hear that and go, oh, well, that just fixes everything and it's all nice and easy now. No, but it's just a reminder of that we can fix our eyes on where we're going, and we can go at the pace that we're going and that we need to go at, that our heart needs to go at, that our body needs to go at, that our life needs to go at, that we can give ourselves the permission to be in that driver's seat of, I'm not going to let somebody else dictate the path that I'm on, how fast I'm going, and I'm going to trust that God is guiding me, as I drive this car of life, and that I'm going to get to where I need to go, and that he's going to make all things beautiful in their time, not in my time, not in this person's time, not in anybody else's time, but in his time. And I trust that. And it makes me exhale, and it makes me grip the wheel almost a little less tight and not be so controlling over even my own timeline, but that I can sit back and I can enjoy the ride, and I can be behind the wheel, and I can take it all in, and I can go at the pace that I need to go, and so can you. And so all that being said, as far as what I'm doing and when and how I'm going to be comfortable conceiving in, just for me personally, is I'm going to be getting a GI map. I'm going to be really looking at what's going on in my gut, because if you have pathogens in the gut like Candida, and if you saw my video with my tongue, the before and after with the probiotics, I've been learning a lot, and I can't wait to share in depth with you. But just as far as like what I'm doing, I feel like I could talk on and on and on about in detail of all these things for so long, but it's so much information. But what I do want you to know of, like, how are you boosting your progesterone? How are you preparing to conceive again? This is what I'm doing. So I'm getting a GI map, because when you have Candida overgrowth and you have high endotoxin, that's going to be high estrogen, which is going to lower your estrogen to progesterone ratio. And that is one of the ways that I'm indirectly, but also directly balancing my progesterone, is getting a really good look at my gut health and optimizing my digestion. Because, when we have little cracks in the digestive process, if you will, if you're not making enough bile, if you're not producing enough stomach acid, that's all going to have an effect on how you absorb nutrients. And we need nutrients like zinc, like iron, like copper, to be able to, literally have stable blood. Everything, minerals affect everything, vitamins affect everything, affects everything. But if we're not absorbing all the things that we need for our body to ovulate well, make enough progesterone, our body needs those nutrients to do those things. Our body needs zinc and copper and all these micronutrients to do what it needs to do. And so to focus on that, I am focusing on my digestion and my gut health. So I'm going to be getting a GI map, and I'm very excited about that. And then I'm also going to be doing, again, a Dutch test and really looking at my cortisol, my progesterone, estrogen, and then as well as another HTMA, just to see where I'm at. Again, this will actually be my third HTMA, which is really exciting. And then the OAT test, which is the organic acids test. And I've actually had friends who have who have used that test to get an insight on certain levels and pathways, and who were headed down the road of preeclampsia and just, complications. And they were able to really support their body literally through very targeted nourishment. And they were able to avoid certain complications, which is just amazing. And so I'm really excited to see that organic acids test and just kind of support my body and just those ways. And so that's just what I feel comfortable doing. I'm going to be doing all those tests. And that's actually why I've become a practitioner, why I'm becoming a practitioner, because I just wanted to learn about the body and really dive deep into, I just knew that it couldn't be I knew that it had to be simple, but I knew that it also was a lot more complex than all the years where I was just trying to, take progesterone or just kind of cut out sugar. Like, those things were not working, and I did them for years and they never worked. And I went down that path for so long, and it kept me going in circles for a long time. And I just knew that I wanted to support my body and ultimately share with you, because literally I feel like I genuinely carry your pain in my heart. If you've walked through miscarriage, I like can feel it in my heart. I care so much. And so I'm really excited to become, literally that's all I ever think about is you and how I can help you. And that's like on my mind 24/7. And I just have been juggling a lot this year with the launch of Milk and Honey that's coming out in a couple weeks, the book, the devotional that I wrote for you, and continuing my education, becoming a practitioner, and learning all these things and just creating content and everything like that. There's been so much there's just been so much happening, and I just want to say that thank you even for just I feel like I've kind of been in a creative rut and been kind of stuck, and just because I'm juggling so much, like I literally for the first time this whole year, I forgot that I had school this morning. Like I just literally forgot, and I just didn't go to my virtual class, and that's never happened. And that's when I knew, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am tired. And so I have so much that I want to bring you, and I'm so excited, but I really just wanted to sit down and really answer those two questions very specifically and really talk about what I'm doing. So that's really what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing functional testing to really find out where I'm at. And then I'm going to be working on whatever I find from those tests with a practitioner, which is exciting because I'm going to be a practitioner. So I'm excited to learn from my practitioner. And I'm going to take you along the whole journey because that's what I'm doing. I'm excited about it. And I feel like if you are walking a certain path or just in our life, I've always shared my life with you. And I love that we get to do life together. So I'm going to share with you, I'm going to take you along through the whole thing, the whole process, what my labs come back as. When I've gotten so many questions like, what'd you do for your HTMA? And I didn't even know how to interpret it when I first got it. And I've learned so much. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing functional labs and working with a practitioner. And I'm also taking my friend Lauren. She came out with her new program and course. It is called Conscious Conception, and I just got that program and I've been diving into it, and it is so amazing. And so she goes over all the labs in that course, and she actually shows you how to interpret them and what to do based on your results. It is so comprehensive. I think that especially with her education and her background, it is worth every penny. The value of it is like 10 times, 100 times the price. And it's definitely an investment, but oh my gosh, it is gold. I have never seen anything like that. She talks about detoxifying estrogen, boosting progesterone, optimizing your cervical fluid, literally everything in depth. It is mind-blowingly brilliant. She talks about timeline and specifically where you're at. You assess yourself, and it's just brilliant. It's so brilliant. So I've been learning from her, and but she talks about in there that once you get the labs, that you can work with a practitioner, you can work with her, you can work with she just gives you options on like if you need more personal one-on-one. And I just feel like with my background, I just want to work with somebody. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm really excited about it. So I will link her course in the description box as well if you're interested in that and you're trying to conceive and you're looking for a resource. It's amazing. It is incredible. So I'm going to be doing everything that she talks about in the course. A lot of the time, the road to our dreams or the road to things that are fulfilling and beautiful are often paved with brokenness. I think about when I struggled with my eating disorder and binge eating, and how I just remember struggling so deeply. And yet if I would have never walked through that, if I would have never walked that broken road and shared with you about how I struggled with binge eating and how I overcame binge eating, and I maybe wouldn't even know you. That video really reached so many of you and really just took my channel to a whole new place, and that connected us so deeply, and it really got my eyes on like what I want to do and how I want to do it. I want to help people. I want to help you. I want to help girls. I want to help women, and that is like what my heart beats for. And my camera cut off, but I think about that verse that talks about, that we're able to comfort others with the same comfort that God has given us. And that's really what my channel and YouTube has allowed me to do, is extend that same comfort to you. And no matter what it is. And even I look at, even now after I miscarried, it was the hardest, saddest thing in my life, but it broke my heart, and yet it gave my heart a whole new purpose, if that makes sense. I think that's the best way that I can word it. It broke my heart so much, and yet it filled my heart. It made my heart beat differently, if you will. It gave my heart a new reason to beat, to help the women who were like me, who have tried so many things and who have been discouraged or have been told discouraging news. And I hope to give you hope, and that you can know that that there is purpose in your pain, and that one day, the hope that one day everything will be made right. And that is what gives me great hope. So I hope that this was just helpful, and hopefully, I just felt like sitting down and like having a good chat. I haven't even taken a sip of my tea, but hold on, let's try this. Okay, that is delicious. I think I made it too strong. I did 2 tea bags, and I think that was just too much. But anyway, I love you so much, and it was so fun chatting with you. It just felt like a good old catch up, and it just felt a good old catch up. Not the condiment, but the chat. Anyway, I love you so much, and links to all the things will be in the description box. So you can check the description box for conscious conception, element, all that kind of stuff. And I love you. I really do. I hope that this encouraged you. It was really fun chatting with you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.